Alright, so we are live. Let me just get the link here. It's funny how I don't have too many subscribers. I always have to do this. But, let's see, where is it here? There it is. Let's see. And there we go. Alright. So it is 8 o'clock. Welcome to Livestream, everyone. So today we are looking at the new content for the GT Sport update. I think it's version 1.41, if I remember correctly. And a few things have been added for this. We have 5 new cars. One's a high roller again, unfortunately. We have no new track this time, sadly. I forgot to cover the content for the Sardega update with the 6 layouts and whatnot. Sorry about that. And what else was there? Some new campaign events and some new escapes, apparently. I'll have to take a look at that. So, anyway, let's first off look at the campaign stuff here while we're here. And there's new circuit experience. I forgot about that. So, if we look in the campaign here, should load up. There we go. So, we have some new events. We have, where is it? World Hatchback Championship. We have Sardinia Road Track B2. Oh, hey, Nightmare. We have the Nordschleife. That'll be interesting. That's for the World Hatchback Championship. I think that's all that's new for the Amateur League. If you go to the Professional League, we can see they've added, let me guess, Goodwood and Sardinia Road Track A reverse. That's for the Nostalgic 79 event. You need a high roller for that. Luckily, I have 2 that are not 20 million credit cards. Let's see. If we go to the Endurance League, we have the new Sardinia layout for the Red Bull X 2019 Endurance Series. And yeah. Okay, so if we go to Circuit Experience, we got a new Circuit Experience. That would be Sardinia Road Track A. So I think that's sporadic this time around with the putting the road track layouts for that track in these. It's interesting, but there's 4 for that, so that'll be interesting to complete. And then if we go to escapes, we have techniques. Arrange your own scenes. So we got some. These look like new shots. Maybe I'm mistaken, but. Some of these look familiar, actually. But they've compiled a bunch of shots anyway. There's 21 new, well, quote-unquote, new escapes. So, anyway. I don't know if I'll try the circuit experience or not, actually. Probably not. I actually didn't see what the car is for that, though. Thanks for pointing that out, anyway. Let's see here. What car do you have to race? You have to race the Peugeot Vision Gran Turismo Group 3 car around this, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this stream, though. The cars. So there are 5 new cars for this update, and may as well start with the Europe. So for Jaguar, let's start this one off the bat. They have added the D-Type to this, and it'll set you back 15 million credits, of course. It only comes in one color, obviously, but it's pushing 249 horsepower at 6 grand, 240 torque at 4,000, and weighs only 1,800 pounds. That is pretty lightweight for a car, but it's the 50s we're talking about. It's very lightweight, or still lightweight, I guess. And if we go over to Porsche, I actually have all the cars, by the way. I'll be racing them in a bit. But if we go to Porsche here, we have the new 930 Turbo. The back fin. Yeah. 300 miles per hour. But yeah, so for the Porsche 911 Turbo, the 930 chassis, putting down 295 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 303 torque at 4,000, and a nice lean curb weight at 2,866 pounds. That's pretty, well, it's on the verge of heavy, but I mean, it's fairly light for what it is, really. And all that of a 3.3 liter flat six turbo, which is still pretty impressive. Still some commendable figures even today. So that's all for the Europe branch. Let's go to the Asia Pacific branch. So if we go over to Honda here, we have two new cars from Honda, one of which I'm very excited for. You can see it right there. So we have the EK9 Civic Type R, putting all 181 horsepower at 8,300 RPM, and 119 torque at 7,500. With a nice curb weight of 2,315 pounds. This is surprising, actually, for me, because for those of you who don't know, I own a Toyota Celica GTS in real life. It's an early one with a 6-speed manual. And that engine's putting down about 180 horsepower itself. But that comes on around... but that comes on around 7,600 RPM and redlines to 82. These, I believe, redline around 85 to 90,000, if I remember correctly. I'll have to see what the redline is for this. But I have a bit more torque in this thing, but it's also 100 pounds lighter than my car, which is kind of funny. So, oh, I had to back out. There's one more car in there. Of course, there's the Honda S800. Yeah, so the glorious 791cc engine putting down shearing 68 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. That's impressive. I didn't think any engine hit 8 grand in the 60s. That is insane. With a torque of 48.4 foot-pounds at 6 grand. That's a really high torque curve, actually. A curve of 1,500 pounds! Almost 1,600 there, 1,587. Holy smokes! Wow, I hope this thing's really quick then. This will be very interesting to see how it goes in VR. I'm thinking the 930 Turbo is going to be a bit of a widowmaker. But the EK is going to be very nice to handle. And let's go to Mazda, which has the last car of the lot. You can see it right there. The Roadster Touring Car. So, I've never played the originals, but apparently this is a car from some of the older Gran Turismo games. I'm not sure when it actually was introduced, but I know some friends who have been talking about it, and it is placed at N200. Okay, I saw this car before with some preview pics. I thought it would be in like an X class or something, but it's good to see they put it in the N200 class, so you can at least drive it in like a street series or something. Let's see, no mention of displacement, as is common with any Gran Turismo car. 205 horsepower at 7,500 RPM. GT5. Okay, I knew it was. I know you guys have mentioned it was from one of the GT games. I couldn't remember which. Let's see. 205 horsepower at 7,500. 148.9 at 6,500. Oh, it's actually a DLC. Huh. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. And it has a curb weight of 1,753 pounds. That is very light. So, this will be interesting to drive. I'm very curious to see how this handles, actually, because, I mean, it looks like a race car. It's probably built and tuned as one. So, we'll see how it goes, and this might actually be very fun to drive. I feel they should do more events with it, though. I feel it deserves a series to its own, probably in the amateur or beginner leagues, personally. But that's just my take. They could even bump it, I guess, to professional, maybe. Topless car in VR, yes. They can't put a top over that thing. If they do, they're just savages. I still can't believe they put a top over the NA Miata. And it still irks me to this day. But anyway, let's go to the VR portion of this. It's probably going to cut out because I didn't actually go into VR before starting the stream. So you're going to see a disconnect from the visuals here. Let's see. Yes, yes, yes. Warning, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, yeah. I see myself. Cool. Alright. So we're... And we are back. Okay. Alright, and that is the menu. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we'll go into VR time trial. Which track should we do these cars with? That's the next best question. Which track should I take? I've got so many options these days. Probably not going to do a dirt track because I want to actually see how these things handle on tarmac. So, let's see. Not Autopolis, not St. Croix. What should we use? What should we use? Definitely not Road X. There's nothing... Yeah, I guess I could use the new Sardinia layouts. I didn't go through them in the... Well, I never went through them before, so... I guess it gives me a good excuse to go through them anyway. Sardinia. Okay, that's the dirt. Alright, let's go with... Let's go with layout A, actually. We'll do layout A. And we'll set it for the afternoon, because I like daytime. So... what should we start off with here? Should I use the EK, the Roadster, the S800, or the 911 Turbo? Don't quite know. Really don't. Which one to go with? Which one to go with? There's so many... Well, I mean, so many. There's 4 cars to pick from. But there's some good options. I don't know what to start with first. What to start with? S800? I see what you're going. Yeah, start small. Yeah, I guess we should do that. So if I were to do that, it'd be the S800, then the EK, then the Roadster, and then the 911 Turbo for the finisher. Like it. Manual mode, of course, because I have manual. And I was actually playing some Gran Turismo earlier today, actually, and I was feeling enraged with my H shifter that I have for my G29 wheel. For some reason, whenever I went to second, it would go automatically to neutral as soon as I left the clutch, which was very frustrating. So probably have to either replace it or upgrade. But I want to upgrade because that's a very expensive upgrade if I upgrade. Anyway. So, check tires again. Good, I set it to super softs. My thing is always, I set it to super softs because I want to feel the car with maximum grip. So, I mean, it probably does hide some of the handling characteristics of the car. But, ooh, this looks nice! Okay. Ooh, that brakes are good. Brakes work nice. Wow, sheer bird lights to $9,000. That's insane. Beautiful sound, though. I like the note on this thing. There we go. Nice cornering. Topless. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You can see the back. You can see the seats. Oh, it's all so nice. Yeah, I can't believe how high the rev is in this thing. We are topping out at 145, 46 kilometers there until the hill. And braking. Woo! I was not expecting a tail out at that. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Also nice. Whew. Whoa! Alright. Gotta keep that in mind. Downshifts kick the tail out. Good to know. It's a very nice view, though. I'm very distracted for this. Probably too distracted, really. Come on. Keep it. Keep it. Whoa! Whew. I could have spin out completely there. I cannot believe how tail happy this thing is. I genuinely cannot. Let's see. How good's the overdrive in this? Oh, we're maintaining speed. That's good. Come on. Come on. You got it. I know, what? Downshift? There we go. I'm surprised how perky this car is, honestly. The rev range is insane for the 60s. Even the late 60s at that. And just, like, if you're downshifting and you don't quite got the down, like if you don't slow down good enough, I guess, or, let's see, can I take that? I could. If you too late to lay off the speed, you'll totally go into a tailspin in this car. Like, I have to go like that. It wasn't too bad coming out of the corner because, I mean, it's a 60 horsepower car. It's not going to be a whole lot of torque to that thing still, but the weight is definitely showing. I think that's the thing. The reason the tail end is out so much like that is because it's so lightweight. Like, I'm still in disbelief this thing's almost at 1,700 pound curb weight. Or 1,600 pounds. It's still stupid light for a car, especially of this era. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do one more run here. We'll see how this goes. And braking. Come on. Again, it just wants to fight you out of that corner. Man, I still can't believe it. Like, it's nuts. Okay, managed that one a bit better. It says I could take this in third gear. Well, I guess I could have. At really reduced speed. Yeah, I'm amazed at the get up and go of this thing, which, granted, it's still 70 horsepower roughly, but... Whoa, boy, whoa! I forgot, it was that corner. I almost smashed, well, I did slam in the wall, but still. This car is just... You can't trust it for a minute almost. Like, granted, I do drive with assists on, but this is with assists on. I don't want to imagine what this is like without assists. This would be brutal. Granted, it wasn't that bad there because I was in a lower gear, but man, still can't believe it. Just the power delivery is 70 horsepower delivery, but the weight transfer is just nuts. I mean, I'm on super sauce, which isn't that far off. Like, this is super slicks almost. So, man, if this thing had more power, this would actually be scary. Like, this is only 70 horsepower. I need to see what I can pump this thing up to. Super hearts. Yeah, that would be nuts. I would... Racing hearts would be nuts with this car. Even, actually, no, comfort hearts would be... This would make it a drift missile. Bonafide drift missile. Guaranteed. Anyway, parking brake in. Nice big parking brake light. Let's look over the interior here. We have a parking brake play area. Very small. Good to know. Belt buckle. A small power level. Let's see. We have a player. This player is really tight, actually. We have a 5-speed shifter. We have a nice radio. Some climate controls of sorts. Looks like you got... Okay, look at the gauges here. We got fuel, battery, looks like, and temperature gauge. We have a tachometer. Let's see how high this thing actually reads out to. 9 grand is the red line. That is nuts. Let's see. Speedo goes to 200. That's a very optimistic 200. Ignition is on the right side, which is interesting. I mean, it is a right-hand drive car, but still, like, you don't expect this kind of thing in the dash. What else? We got the old Honda logo, of course, right in this huge wheel here. Wait. If that's the ignition, what the heck is this? Huh? That says ignition. That's a keyhole. What's going on here? What's going on? Why are there two keyholes in the steering? There's one in the steering column, one on the dash. What does the one on the wheel do then? That's so weird. What else? We got hand crank windows, of course. Very nice door handles. Locks are over there. Yeah. That is interesting. Okay. So, if you're the passenger, you can screw off because the driver has an actual sun visor. That is interesting. Even more so, they actually have a play area. They actually have the mirror affixed to a rod down the middle. That is interesting. This car is full of weirdness, quirkiness, really. Fender mirrors, of course, as were standard on, excuse me for that, on all Japanese cars of the era. We got a nice top. Seat detail is divine. That looks finely detailed. Yeah, it looks like a small ashtray maybe in the center armrest. And a play area that's not being so playful at the moment. But yeah. Nice look at the back there. You can kind of see a radio antenna there, I hope. But yeah. So that pretty well covers off the S800. Oh, you also have a lockable glove box. Good to know. That, let's kind of see what that is. That is trip meter reset. Okay, good to know. And then we have our turn signal lights. That's cool. We have our high beam light there. Nice. Very nice. I like it. Yeah, so my overall opinion on that car, though, is very lightweight, and be careful with the when you have actual power built up in that thing. I am curious though. Let's actually how high? So you can max out 118 horsepower. You can't go any lighter though. Thank goodness you still can go lighter. What? So I can't max. I could max it out actually. This is the worst idea I have come up with. This is the worst idea I have come up with. This is going to be nuts. I 1000% guarantee it. I don't normally do this, but we're doing it anyway. Let's go. Woo! Aye, that's the wall. What's our top out? That's the next best question. What's our actual top out on this car? And we take the corner. He takes it with the tires screaming against him. So max power, lowest weight. 170. So you can't go much faster than that. I mean, maybe. So it's still manageable, probably because of the low horsepower, but he says as he almost understeers into the grass. This is still in N100, by the way. Yes, this is still in N100. Holy moly. I tell you, for N100 regs are pretty lax. Oh boy, come on! Trying to get close to the guardrail, attacking in his 8.6. I was gonna do one lap of this, by the way. I'm totally not doing another lap of this. This is... Granted, you have some grip because it's still only 118 horsepower, but... when you got speed going, not much of it. Time to downshift. I'm too late on the power! Oh my... Sort of slide it. Granted, I still have my assists on, but... I was hoping I could clear that. Yeah, as far as four-wheeler drift goes, I mean... Woo! And... that didn't quite go the way I wanted. I was going for reverse there. I actually pulled the e-brake there to try and get a bit of a slide going, but even that was a bit of an ill-fated attempt to get this thing really slide. Woo! Come on, come on, come on! Ah, dang it, I spun around. Ooh, still chirping. Okay, yeah. It doesn't have enough torque to do a full-on, like, just spinner around type of thing. Man, oh man. Oh boy. Woohoo! Oh, that's how I recovered. Anyway. Yeah. So there we go. Bit of fun on the S800. My very poor attempt at drifting. But would not surprise me actually if guys decide to drift this thing, because it's very easy to get that tail end out, not gonna lie. So anyway, let's move up the ladder to a car I've been really looking forward to. The EK9. Oh, this looks a lot better. Oh yeah. There we go. I feel very slouched back in this thing. I can't adjust the camera any further. So, off the bat, I think they need to realign the camera for this car, because I am seeing a lot of dash very far away from me. Yeah, we got one more gear, of course. Huh, I was not expecting to drop speed there. VTEC! Cool vibrations. Oh boy. Oh boy! Aye. I forgot you're supposed to go into second there. And I clearly didn't brake hard enough on that corner. Hear the VTEC, I love it. Whew, understeer almost pulled me into the wall there. Yeah, when you're in second and third gear and you start off on those, you can literally hear the VTEC kick in. I love it. Hear it? Love it. I love that they've added that. Because that is what Hondas are known for. If anything other than reliability, they're known for. VTEC! love it. Just can't get enough of that V2. It does sound really good. Alright. Yeah, all things aside though, this is a very grippy car. I like it. I mean, it should be. It's like known for grip. Yes, that still drives me nuts. How far I am from the wheel. Like, do they scan this thing with the seats all the way back or something? Because I feel I need to be closer to the dash. Oh, look at that. I'm slower than my first time around here. But don't worry. I know the corner comp. I'm gonna brake a lot better this time. Oh, red line there. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, that's never fun. Cockpit gear. Yeah. This is a very fun car. It's funny to me. Because it feels like, well, the way that I think it's the same engine as the Integra Type R, in fact. So that's the funny thing to me is the grip is about on par with the Integra Type R, which shouldn't really surprise me because I believe they're using the same engine, and more so, I think, yeah, it's the same engine, the same horsepower output. I'm pretty sure, or no. The EK9 put out less, that's right, because the Integra Type R put out, I believe, around 189, its top trim. So, nonetheless, it still feels like 180 horsepower. I will not deny that much. There we go. Alright. Brake. Yeah, see, look, I have this much player from here and here. Like, what the heck? Oh, not much roof, though. So let's see. Let's look around. We got a lot of red interior. And in fact, I don't think there are floor mats in these cars. In fact, I think the whole floor is red, as you can see. We have the very famous 5-speed shifter. The exact opposite of the S800. Yeah. Yeah. But, so we have one more gear than the S800. We also have, let's see what the red line's at. Oh! Okay, so the red line's at 85. Huh. Interesting. Thought I revved up to 9. Or no, I'm thinking of the DC-5 Integra, I'm pretty sure. But, we have a nice, there's the play area. Civic Type R badge. We have a ashtray. Or no, we have a cigarette lighter. Probably an ashtray beside it, though. Radio delete, as they all came. Because race car. Very nice Recaro seats. Not the same treatment in the back. Probably still the base Cono trim seats in the back. Cargo cover, though. That's surprising. I'm surprised they'd add that in. A very, very nicely textured carpet roof liner here. Or headliner. We have sun visors. We have one more sun visor than the S800. We have our rear view. Climate controls. Yeah, that's our lights. Oh, okay, they do have individuals. Good stuff. And brights are right there. Cool. And you also have 2 window switches. Right, because it's only a 2-door. They didn't have window switches at the back. Parking brake in the middle. You don't have cup holders. Oh, you do have cup holders, actually. That's surprising. You do have cup holders down there. You have 4 vents. 5 for the defrost. Airbag pops out there very clearly. Airbag rated wheel, of course. And yeah, that whole dash screams 90s Honda, though. Not kidding. So that is cool. I like it, honestly. It's a very nice car. I'm actually curious to see how much power you can stuff out of this thing now. So let's exit the car and take a look. There's probably going to be a lot of Toto School liveries or demo car liveries for this thing, if there aren't already. Probably a Spoon livery. Or 1,000. Let's see. 244. 277. You can go lighter. You can go to 2,000 pounds in this thing. Holy smokes. So, if I were to bump the power out, that takes me into N300 territory. Good to know. I think 246 is the cap off. Yeah. Into 246, you're already in the N300 class. So 244. I think 245 is actually the cap for N200 spec. So I can push it at 244 horsepower and 161 torque. And then I can shed the curb weight down to 2,000 pounds. This would be pretty meaty, actually. Acceleration is still rating at a 3.7. What was it at before? Ah, doesn't actually improve the acceleration much. Huh. Interesting. 3.4 to 3.7. Huh. So it probably gets a bit more pep if you add the full power and everything, but... Anyway, that's a nice car, though. I like the handling of that. I actually do. Now, on to the next target. The Roadster Touring Car. This will be interesting. I am very curious to see how well this does. I expect it to handle like a god. Because lightweight and 200 horsepower. So let's go. I like the race gauge. Yeah, the EK was very well done. Let's see. It's got a good power curve, actually. I like the power curve. It's very procedural. Oh yes, that is totally straight cuts. That is totally straight cut gear. That's a lot of gear wine. So, like the shiny Mazda badge in the wheel. That's a nice touch. We're hitting 206. Love it. Very easy to take corners with. Very good off the power. With grip tires on. Feels very nice. Oh boy! And I spoke too soon! So our red line looks like it's somewhere past 6,500 there. This is very good in the acceleration, actually. I am impressed. For 205, 206, I think it was, this is really, really good. I'm betting it's probably only a 5-speed miss because that's what the original had. Which I'm totally fine with. If they threw a 6th gear in, I would have no complaints still. This is very nice. I think I almost prefer this car more than the EK. Almost. I mean, there's something to be said for VTEC, but like a bred race car in a street car class, this is very nice. I expect there are going to be a lot of lobbies where they only run Spec Miata now because this is. I am very much looking forward to it, honestly. I'd probably join some lobbies with this as the only car. In fact, I might challenge my buddy Mark to a race in these cars. Because the stock handling stuff is really good. I mean, granted, I'm on super softs, but still. Yeah, it's very good on the power. Acceleration is very nice. It's a very, very well balanced package, honestly. It checks all the boxes. Whew. Almost bit the sander. I might stream it. I might. It'd be interesting to stream with another player. That'd be the key there if I could actually get Mark's audio in on this too. That would be interesting. But yeah, no, this is a very nice car, honestly. Whew. The brakes are just perfect. Like I keep saying, the acceleration is great, the handling is great. I didn't even see what top speed this thing had on the straight, in fact. So. Oh, that's very, very nice. This is very exciting. I should look around, actually. Roll cage. Let's see, what's our top out? I'm gonna run right into the wall here. We'll see what our top out is at. Green tank. Very nice roll cage. Carbon fiber door panels. I like it. Alright. Anyway. So I think that hits somewhere around... Probably could go maybe 220, 230 is top out maybe. I mean, it's not like the Mulsanne straight we got here, so... That's just my guess. Probably could hit 250 with it, honestly. But, 212, okay. I saw it was above 210, I knew that much. But yeah, so... I'm gonna actually move out of this because that's gonna be disorienting to see that. Yeah, that looks better. Yes, I'm choosy. So what do we got here? We have a wheel that says screen, radio, drink, and PR. Looks like. So you have radio. Honestly, I mean team radio, which makes sense. Drink, probably because you would have a drink on board in this thing. What do we got here? Very nice player, might I add. We have diff, trans, ignition, fuel reset, ABS, crank, light dim, rain, AC, fuel 2. Hold up, fuel 2? Main? This thing has 2 fuel tanks? I mean, it very well could out the back, but still... Because if you ever see fuel 2 in main, that usually means either you got 2 fuel pumps working, or at the least 2 fuel tanks. That's still nuts. And of course you have the fire extinguisher button there, the extinguisher right there. Looks like a 4-point? No, 6-point harness? Am I reading that right? It's either a 6 or a 5-point harness off the bat. Let's see. The regular interior stands. Carbon fiber trimmed e-brake. Bet you everyone with a Subaru and anyone with a front-wheel drift car and a 10-mile radius is going to want one of those. Let's see. Got your pull door handles here. Locks still original. Very nice mirrors. Very, very thick roll cage. It's very thick roll cage. And we got a nice wing at the back. There's not much else to say. A lot of carbon fiber accents, of course, but other than that, it's a Spartan stripped down Miata. There's not much else to add. But I'm curious, do we have 5 or do we have 6? 5. Okay, good to know. So we only have 5 speeds in this thing, which I expected. Yeah, no, it looks really good, honestly, for this. No, like even the welds I might have to talk to Mark about that. The wells look very nice on this roll cage. Like, very nice. But, I'm serious, that's a fixed rearview mirror. I can actually look at the back almost. That's insane. Yeah, that's a fixed rear view. Huh. That's cool. Very nice. But yeah. Yeah, tag him. There's some cool welds in these. But yeah. I'm probably gonna switch over to another car now, but he can always look back in the footage for it. So, anyway, our best was 2 minutes. Nice. So that covers that. And now we'll change the car over. Let's go to one of my personal interests. This is probably going to kill me. The 930 Turbo. So, readjust, because I was looking around, of course. And, yeah. Let's, oh yeah, let me adjust my headset here. Okay, there we go. That feels a lot better now. Now I feel like I'm plugging my nose. Anyway, let's give her a run. Left side this time. I am advised to take this in first gear, which already tells you the power. Hey, we'll have to test that actually. Oh, hey, Mark. Good to see you. Oh boy. So this thing is fast, as you would expect, I hope. But, I'm liking the sound. Let's see. Okay, brakes aren't too bad. But yeah, well, this is a very, very well handled car. Brakes! Yeah, if there's one thing, if there's one thing you're gonna realize about this car is, turbo lag exists. Like that. Oh, of course, that could just be poor braking on that point, but still. I don't know when the boost kicks in, but it definitely kicks in. Let's see, we're doing about... Yeah, it's very fast when it hits boost, there's no denying that. I'm running super softs on this too. And I'm going to take this in a fairly low gearing around corners. I did voice my thoughts on the S800 actually. You have to look at the beginning of the stream. But long story short, twitchy. Very twitchy. For 70 horsepower. Very twitchy. So... there we go. And come up here. Good to note, I still have a 5th gear, but the whole circuit I've only run up to 4th gear on this straight. And that was at 220 there at the top. I'm sure this thing could easily hit well past 250. Right in braking time. Ah. Man, that boost. Whew. Boost is punchy. Yeah, if there's one thing you learn with this is you kinda need to brake sooner than you think. Compared to the MX-5 anyway, which granted this has like 175 more power than that, but still. Anyways. Yeah, I guess we should do that sometime. I might stream it, if you want. It doesn't have to be streamed, but I might stream it. But yeah. Anyway, this car is... Oh boy! I thought the tail end was going out there. So anyway, this car is very capable. Light and brake in time. As far as class goes, I don't know. I don't mind taking a sober C9 around, or, you know, if you want to use a new update car. I did mention in the stream, actually, you can actually run Spec Miata races, so that might be something. But yeah. I think I'm gonna stop the car here, though. Anyway, brake is on, as evident by that red light right there. Let's look around the interior here. So we have a very big play area, for starters, compared to the S800. We have a fuel gauge, oil gauge. We have temp, oil temp actually. Druck pressure. Sobers and Demianas. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Druck pressure. I believe that means oil pressure, judging by the oil sign. We have a very huge tachometer. We have a boost gauge in the tachometer, which is nice. We have a speedometer, of course, and we have a clock. We also have what looks like your climate controls, standard radio setup. Am I reading that right? Hold up. Huh. Well then. I'll be. Simple. I move my head to the wheel. But still, I'm impressed. I thought it was 5. I am wrong. It is a 4-speed turbo. That is nuts. That is just nutty. Aside from that, though, very, very plush leather seats. That looks exquisite. We have back seats for the masochist who feels like they can sit back there, or in case you have a baby with you in this thing. Don't know why you would. Could be because I have my camera set up pretty wide. Like, for those who don't know, my camera is actually mounted on the bottom of my TV screen, which is affixed to a wall mount, which is at an angle. And that camera is sitting about, if I pop my headset off here, it's sitting about 3 feet from my headset, roughly. Maybe 2 feet, 2.5. So, it's a good distance from my headset, to be fair, but yeah, we have our, I believe those are window cranks right there. Those must be window switches, because we don't have a center console, really. Aside from a parking brake and a thing that says off? What is this button? I am actually curious now. I'll have to look at a review of someone with this car, because I'm curious what that is. Let's say defrost. Can't be. Now I'm very curious what that is down there. That's a switch down there, by the way, if you can't quite see it. That is interesting. And we have down here... Oh, okay, that'd be... climate settings, I guess? I don't know what those panels are down there. It's so fast. Alright. I'll see you later, Mark. Thanks for joining the stream, though. But yeah, that's interesting. And I just realized there's only 2 vents in the whole dash. Looks like. Unless it's a dash there. Oh, okay, there's dashes down here. Okay, good to know. But, anyway, there's an interesting interior here. I need to figure out what that little switch is down there for. But, right, mirror control. That makes sense. I was like, why is that? Ha! That is interesting. Now, I thought this would have... You could switch both, but... So, there's the door lock here. Then you have the mirror toggle here. Sorry. But yeah, that's interesting. That's a pain though if you want to adjust that mirror. That's nuts. Other than that, roof liner is fairly well fitted. Got some sun visors, very big ones. And that pretty well covers it, I guess. I can't think of much else to look at. But it covered everything. Looks like you have some door storage, though, on the side here. Could be wrong, though. But, yeah. Anyway. So that pretty well covers the 930 Turbo. Let me look in the tuning settings, though. I am curious, because I think you would struggle using this as a grind car. Let me recalibrate there. Let's see what we have for tuning options. So we can obviously do suspension setups, tune the diff, manual. What do we have? Okay, so they do give us a fifth gear option, and we can yank this sucker out to a top speed of 400 kilometers an hour. Not that you would though, because that's if you really want a long overdrive. You're not hitting 400 in this car. I'll tell you that right now. Because power-wise, and well, let's see how savage this thing is with 4 gears, 5. No, okay, I can't do that. Darn it. I can jump to N400 even. So I top out at about 340 horsepower. Okay, I'll have to... In order to get full power of this, I'd have to exit VR, tune it, then go back in. I don't know why it's this stupid setup, but it's still the way it is, and I hate it every time. Because you can freely, non-VR in time trial, you can freely tune your car to whatever N spec you want. And the game won't show it yet, but if you try and do that, it's like, it won't let you save. Because look, I'll try it, and undo your changes and exit? Regulation violation, of course. So, that sucks. But yeah, so undo my changes, please. So, anyway, that pretty well covers the new, yeah, I've talked about it before. I still hate it. I still hate that it's still in the game, to be honest. But yeah, so I think that pretty well covers me for the cars of the recent update. I don't know if I quite covered the Camaro and Clio and the Sports 800 much. I think I did, actually. I think I did now that I think about it. But I could be mistaken. I could very easily be mistaken. So... Because, yeah, there's been some cars I've been driving lately, but nothing much. I'm trying to remember, what was added last update? There was the... Haven't seen that? Okay, alright. Maybe I haven't then. Let's go with the Sports 800. Yeah. No, I thought I did cover these cars. Maybe did I cover them in a previous stream? I thought I did. Or no, maybe I just drove them. Maybe that's what it was. So, well, we'll drive the Sports 800 anyway. It's an interesting car. For the fact that it has, like, 43 horsepower. And a car weight of 1,200 pounds. And you can max the power out to 128. And you can trim the curb weight down to exactly 1,200. So let's try that. Let's go a bit nuts. Because driving this car in stock is it's interesting, to be fair. But, yeah. I don't want to least well, it's definitely a lot peppier than 118 horsepower under its belt. I think the 4-speed transmission might be the limiting factor here, though. Yep. hand isn't even on the wheel right now. I'm just stuck here at 162. Yeah, it's got some get up and go though, that's for sure. It's kind of crazy, but not quite to the extent of the S800, to be fair. I forgot about the body roll in this car. Yeah, I forgot the suspension's actually really cushy in this car. So it's a bit nutty, I guess, but not quite to the extent of that S800 that I drove. In fact, I'm pretty sure that still had more power than this. And if it's matched, I'd be impressed, actually. Okay, you can spin her around with that much power. Yeah. And honestly, driving this feels like a muscle car, actually. I am impressed. You're about to find out what I mean in a minute, of course, because we're going to drive the Camaro ZL1. Okay, noted. It does not like taking any corner at speeds in excess of 120 kilometers an hour. Good to know. Makes that Fiat 500 I drove feel like it's completely planted almost. Maxed up powers fed through the stock 4-speed is definitely interesting. Really, my best was a 2-minute 34 to that. I am impressed. So, anyway, forgot to hit the parking brake there. But to give you a quick run around of this, though. Closed convertible, luggage rack, storage bay, parking brake, 4-speed shifter, and very bare bones interior, might I add. That's part of the engine bay in here. Not kidding. Fender mirrors, of course, as a standard. Very tiny wiper blades, actually. I just noticed that. Some weird climate controls here. In fact, I don't see any vents, actually. They could be under there, though. The world's tiniest ignition key, from the look of things. Because I don't see ignition key anywhere else. What is it with these keyholes? Yeah, the space is nice, though. The space is actually very nice. But what is it with keyhole and ignition? What does it do? All these weird things in old Japanese cars, I guess. And we have our... Not sure what that is. Let's see, engine temp and kilograms per centimeter. That must be oil pressure, I guess. Because we have our battery gauge there and our fuel gauge on the other end, so... yeah. And in case you didn't know the rev line, about $6,000. So... That's, that pretty well sums up the S800, the quick overview. I mean, there's not much to look at, but I'm going to run through some of these actually pretty quickly, just because. But, let's go to the Z28. I forgot, not the ZL1, it's the Z28, that's right. ZL1 would be nice, though. A bit higher pedigree than this. And this is running with... stock. Wait. And, yeah. Let's give her a run. So you're about to see what I meant earlier about the Sport 800 sounding like it was a muscle car with 4-speed ratio and all that power. Basically, the power is so much that it exceeds its own top speed, which is kind of interesting. But I think my only critique with this car is the fact that the gauge pod is so dimly lit, if not at all, that I can't actually see the tach and the speedometer. So everything you see me doing here is on reliance of that thing that I can see out of the corner of my eye, like this, and just general engine note, really. So, but yeah, this is a bit tricky to try and get a look at the interior with, because you kind of need to hit the sunlight at the right point to see the gauge pod. Almost made that corner. Almost! Aye. But, yeah. So, pretty well sums up the Camaro. I mean, it's a muscle car sitting on over 300 horsepower. Feeding that through a 4-speed gearbox at the top out of 212 kilometers an hour, so, you know, make of that what you will. But in any case, we have Camaro, we have Camaro, and that pretty well covers us for the name badges in this car, other than the Chevy bow tie, and I believe the GM on the belt buckles. Yes, that is GM on the belt buckles. You can see it there, kind of. There you go. What else? We have a very nondescript interior. Let me see if I can get better sunlight, maybe. Let's see. Kind of, but not quite. Where is the sun coming from is actually the better question. But anyway. So you can kind of make out a tachometer there and a speedometer there. You have your cooling, your climate controls there. You have some gauges down there that I actually can't see. You have a 4-speed shifter with a very large bracket here to tell you what your gears are. I just find it kind of comical, really. You have the Holy handlebar there on the glove box. You have another Holy handlebar up top there and right here. Unless those are hooks, actually. Those are hooks, never mind. That's the only Holy handlebar in this car. Yeah. That's an interesting idea, though. You have a slot to put the empty belt buckle in the car. That is a cool idea, actually. I'm surprised more cars don't do that. But, yeah, muscle car seats. I mean, pretty sure this is velour? No. Vinyl, maybe. Looks like vinyl. No cup holders, of course, because back then, why would you? Ashtray in the back. Hand crank windows, of course. Radios in the driver's gauge pod area down there. And I'm pretty sure this is a clock dead set in the middle here. So, But, yeah, got a little antenna there, of course. Yeah, it pretty well covers the interior of this thing. I mean, it's 60s, 70s muscle cars. Not much else to say about it. It's American. It's about the only other thing I can really say. So, but yeah. So if I change it out to, which one was I going to do next? Oh yes, the Clio V6. I was going to drive that one next. This is a bit of a blast, in my opinion. So, so off the bat, it looks very much like a Renault Clio of the era, with a few minor modifications, of course, because it's Renault Sport spec. But yeah, one thing you notice off the bat is green tinted windows, which is interesting. What else? You notice a 6-speed shifter. There is also, let me hit the brakes here. In my this is a very, very good handling car, actually. If you've driven the Megane Group 4 in this game, this is kind of its brother, or predecessor, really. Just because the handling and everything is just so pitch perfect with this car. I believe the engine in the back is putting somewhere between 220 to 250 horsepower on this, which is pretty commendable kit for back in the day. And of course, I say back in the day, this is like late 90s, early 2000s these came out, so. But it definitely has that 2000s feel in the interior here. I mean, if the wheel didn't speak to that already, the gauge pod is very much like you would find in a late 90s, early 2000s base Econo car. Looks like something GM would make, actually. The center stack, a bit similar, maybe a bit higher tier than GM of the era. Glove box looks very much like it's from GM's parts catalog. But, fair enough, I can commend that. As an owner of a 2000 Celica 01, I can commend that. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say, really. It's interior-wise, it looks like a Clio. for as much as you've seen of one, anyway. But it's a very, very good handling car. Just want to do the one lap there. But if we look here, 6-speed, by the way, 6-speed shifter. Oh, there's a player. So we have a Clio V6 bed on the parking brake. Well, the center console, really. We have a parking brake there. We have our ashtray and cigarette lighter down there. Climate controls, which look directly at our GM. Radio that looks slightly better than GM's. But other than that, everything else screams parts bin special to me. Even this kind of weird double bubble dash layout here. Like you can see here. There, on the climate vent. And down there looks like you would have your... What does that say? I can't quite see because the play area. Looks like... vents, maybe? Not sure what those are. But we have our whole pod there to tell our attack, our fuel, engine temp, and speed. So, I've already put 82 kilometers on this, as you can see. We have a clock up there, probably radio display too. And then if we look back here, engine. So we have a small storage cubby back here. I'm surprised the play area is this big. But we have an engine right there, right under that cover. You know what the funny thing is? I found this out today, in fact. Fire of the engine, which has a red line around 7,200, looks like. You may not be able to tell, but that sounds like it's coming from the front. Am I correct? But the engine is back here. So theory stands, if I rev this, I should hear it out here, but I'm not. I can hear it coming from here, but the engine is over there. What is this, Paul Phony? Yes, I was discussing this earlier with you. What is this? You had one job. Put that note back here. So why is a mid-engine car got a front-engine sound? I'd very much like to know the answer to that, because that is just really poor sound design in my opinion. For as much as Polyphony says about atmospheric sound quality in this game and stuff, that is a very big issue in my opinion. But yeah. So I think that pretty well covers me for the update cars that came out last. I don't remember what else came out last update. I know it was those three, and I think there were maybe 2 more that I'm missing. I'll look through my collection here. Yeah, I drove a lot of cars recently-ish. What else was there? Oh yeah, there was the Fit. And then there was something else I thought. I thought it was the Fit and something else. Or the Fit come out with the McLaren. Which I have done that, I'm pretty sure. I'm out of blank here actually. I thought there was something else that came out. Pretty sure I reviewed the Supra. The Tundra, that's what it was, the Tundra. Of course. My Canadian spec Tundra. Yeah, the Tundra. That's what it was. And this thing sounds interesting. Not that it has a sound issue or anything. Let me bump those specs up a bit to stock. Not too... Are you kidding me? Oh, why did I have it set to N300? Okay, that weight's staying down at 70 then. Why is this on Sport Hards? Switch that over to Super Softs. But you're about to experience this. Oh yeah! Big rate power, baby! Also, be interesting to actually climb. First try, I adjusted the gear ratios in this actually. Musty, yes. That wonderful 5.7 I-Force V8. I assume it's the same engine anyway. But, notice here when I shift, he actually follows the shift. It's not like one of those manual mode animations. He actually is sequentially shifting. Well, sport shifting and automatic, basically. Because you'll see here, a little quick change like that. Come on! This is actually fairly down on power. The regular engine's putting over 420 horsepower, if I remember correctly. But I had this detuned to N300 for some reason. It's actually putting down 370, or no, 340. So... can't remember what my thinking was of putting this at N300, though. a very muscly Canadian truck. I'm pretty sure it's built in Canada. I know Canada builds a few Toyotas. I don't know if we built the Tundra or if that's US. Come on. Yeah, I'll probably have a lot to say about this interior once I'm done the lap, though, nonetheless. I also noticed this thing is actually reading the in-gauge speedometer in miles per hour. But yeah. So anyway, parking brake in. Alright, let's get into the interior. For starters, we have 6 speeds, by the way. Sorry, I was getting a bit involved. Anyway, yeah, I was surprised too. But I think it's probably the older transmission from this thing, which is funny because Toyota makes a TRD Pro 4Runner, and that's running a 4-liter V6 and a 5-speed automatic, and you could still buy it new today. So it's kind of interesting. But if I look around, space. Lots of space. So, yeah. So let's start off with the gauge pod here. We have a very manly gauge pod with a speedometer, a tachometer, oil temperature. I don't know why we still have battery gauges in this day and age, but we do. Engine temp and fuel gauge. And, yeah. Is that a recording our... Oh, it's range. I thought I was recording our top speed there. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we hit past 112, but... and if you look at the wheel, manly wheel, we have our regular push-to-talk, navigation stuff, you know, the whole shebang. Very huge climate control knobs. Very basic infotainment. I actually have used this infotainment before. When I was test driving a Scion IM Scion IM, or a Corolla IM hatchback, you may know it as. It has the same infotainment. It's very interesting, to say the least. We have big TRD Pro right in the center console armrest thing. And yes, that is actually the pull handle. I kid you not. You actually pull that back and that whole thing lifts. I kid you not. Very big underneath. We have leather. Very nice leather seats. Very nicely textured. We have a glove box. We have airbags, of course. We have 4 climate vents. We have huge back seats. Like, you'd swear that's a full-size limo back there, really, for how much space you have. Sunroof, dome light, more dome lights, sunglass holder, rear mirror, huge sun visors, by the way. Little tray up front to put some stuff on if you want some loose whatever stuff there. As far as door sills go, not much else to say, really. Door handles, locks, windows. It's the usual kit. In fact, I'm pretty sure my parents' Venza has those same window switches on that panel. What else? We have yield sign for the hazard lights. Good to know those work. And yeah, we also have 3 cup holders. I just realized we have 1 up there. We have 2 down here. So that's interesting. But yeah. Anyway, anything that covers the Tundra TRD Pro, aside from the very big Canada Day paint job I gave it. What do we have down here? Oh, that's cool. Collision warning and lane keep assist. Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah, that pretty well covers the Tundra. I want to say there was at least one or two more cars added in the last update, but I can't quite remember what they were. Which is surprising me, actually. I mean, there was the X2019 competition, but that's really nothing to write home about, if I'm honest with myself. It's a nice car, but it's a detuned, somehow detuned version of the standard. Oh, right, that's why it's detuned, because it has less aero than the standard, actually, for competitive spec. But, oh yeah, I never did touch on this car yet. I also got this car recently. Let's give it a run. Really? Auto speed, just like, here you go, launch into second gear. Right, I think I modified this. I think I fed this thing max power and maximum top speed. I think I did tinker with the gear ratios in this thing. Only first gear! I barely stopped in that corner. Ah, yeah. So, note to self. Cobra is whack. Come on, turn! Yeah. No, off the acceleration, like here. I'm gonna stop. Okay. As if we're deadly enough. I'm gonna stop here. Okay. Watch the acceleration of this thing. Oh. Well, that was anticlimactic. There we go. Holy! Yeah, it really gets going once you actually have some speed in the thing, though. It's geared like a coning sink, if I'm honest with myself. Come on, soldier! Okay, after this stop, I'm gonna look at what the specs are of this thing, because this is blitzing fast. Oh, come on, turn! It won't turn, worth the time. Turn! Holy. Let's see, the only way to find out is if I added a fifth gear. I did add a fifth gear, okay. Alright. First, let's go over the interior. Just wrecked my headset there. So, right off the bat, it's a convertible. With no top. So, if you're in the rain, you're screwed. Secondly, belts. Interesting texture issue there. You have one roll bar for the only driver. You also have some nice textures, actually, very nicely rendered textures. You have a battery gauge, you have a fuel gauge, you have a fuel pressure gauge, you have an oil temp gauge, I guess. I don't even know what those three up top do. I'm losing my voice. We have a fire system. I did not know that. We have a parking brake in the passenger side footwell, which is interesting. What else? Let's see. Alright, this is the weirdest gear shifter system you're ever going to see. Watch this, folks. So this is first... No. Can I put it in neutral, actually? Or, you know, just negate the click entirely. But yeah, man, so that's first gear. That's second gear. That's third gear. That's fourth gear. And here's the imaginary fifth gear. So, you know. Oh, and here's reverse just for the fun. So, if that's not the weirdest gear shifter you've ever seen, please let me know what other ones you've seen, because I'd be very interested to see how whack those are. But you have a glove box in there, you have your panel lights, it looks like, and wiper, and a few other toggles down here. Do you actually have a navigation key? You do. Yes, quite the unique shifter. You also have sun visors that basically do practically nothing, aside from slight tint. What else? Side windows, because those are a thing for wind. The rearview mirror is sitting on the bottom, which is kind of a thing in this case. That's how most cars were back then. And you have this thing that looks like an ashtray, but you don't have a cigarette lighter, it looks like. So that's interesting. Other than that, though, yeah. Oh yeah, and look at that weird belt design too. Now that I'm looking at it here, that is something. So a red line, you're sitting at about somewhere around 6,600 looked like. So you also have a tiny blinking light there to tell you your turn signal's on, which is barely even bright. And yeah, excuse me. So that pretty well covers the Cobra. Let's see what I actually stuffed in this thing. I am now curious what I actually decided to feed this. So you are sitting at 610 horsepower and about 2,300 pound curb weight. If that's not a recipe for spinouts and no brakes, I don't know what is. Oh, and in case you want to know what the actual stock power base was in this thing, which is a full tier under, these things came stock with 484 horsepower under the hood. So, yeah. These were stupid fast, and I set the gearing to 380 kilometers an hour because I'm a maniac like that. But yeah. So that pretty well covers. Yeah, now you know. That pretty well covers the Cobra, and that more than covers the update cars. Yep. Yeah, that thing has a lot of power, dude. Seriously nuts. But yeah. I'm curious, was there any other car that I need to review in this? I think it was just the competition, which I'm not too keen to review at this point, because it's just the standard with less downforce and a little bit more power. And a different engine, actually. I found out the competition runs a V12, while the standard runs a twin-turbo V6. So, it's different, but only slightly, really. So, anyway. I think I'm probably going to cut the stream here, though, because I have a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow. And some Xbox-related stuff, actually. And for those who didn't know that, yes, I recently came into possession of an Xbox 360. So, that's cool. Yeah, no, thanks for coming, actually. It was nice to have someone to talk to while I'm playing this. But yeah, so that's everything for this stream. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more of this, you know, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, of course. I'm probably going to be doing some more of these in the near future. Also, I'll probably link this at a later date on this video. Me and my buddies, actually, we started a podcast together. We don't have a video up yet. We recorded it a few days ago. It should be up soon, hopefully. But hopefully when that's up, I'll link it in the description down below here. If you want to look us up, though, for the channel name, look up Lazy Drivers is our team name. So, anyway, keep an eye out for that. Anyway, like I say, thank you all for watching. Nice statement there, Nightmare. Nice statement. Um, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.